I see Black SEL as embodying the essential concepts of selflessness and sacrifice and holding the true power of transformation. From my birth in apartheid South Africa, selflessness and sacrifice were constantly modeled to me by my grandparents. My grandfather, Nelson Mandela, was in his 17th year of imprisonment in the bleak island called Robben Island Maximum Security Prison in the Atlantic Ocean of Cape Town. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison 3 months after his capture, and then 18 months later, convicted in another trial and sentenced to life. The apartheid regime expected him to die in prison, but he never lost hope that one day he and our country would be free, and neither did we. When I was a little girl, my grandmother always made sure to tell us about my grandfather, why he was in jail, how he sacrificed his freedom, his career as a lawyer, his comforts, his family, his democracy. She constantly reminded us of this. I was almost 11 years old when my grandfather was released from prison. After 27 and a half years, by then he was an international icon of freedom, struggle, and the hope of millions of oppressed people around the world. Whilst he understood that the anti-apartheid movement had needed a symbol and they chose him, he was never completely comfortable about being seen as the one who achieved liberation and the one whose shoulders all the successes and failures should be placed. He always emphasized that he was only part of a collective and used every opportunity to talk about the women and men who also sacrificed, sometimes even lost their lives. And in his retirement, after he had served only one term as president of South Africa, he pressed the point that he had done what he could do in his lifetime, but there was still a very long road ahead. It was now in the hands of others to continue building South Africa after the economic, social, and psychological ravages of the apartheid regime. It was up to not only the next generation of leaders, but every person, each one of us, according to my grandfather, has the power to do something, no matter how small, to help others. As my grandfather once said, what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the lives that we lead.